Today's video, I'm going to explain to you what cyclic vomiting syndrome is versus hyperemesis gravidarum, how they're both related to each other, or having the time of our lives.
Yeah, I want to keep doing it.
Hyperemesis gravidarum and CVS are actually related by a DNA mutation called the RYR2 factor. And UCLA and the Her Foundation actually found out this groundbreaking research back in 2016. And there's other genes that cause the hyperemesis gravidarum, but this is the main reason why CVS and HG are related and sisterhood diseases. So the three top common things are you've had CVS before getting hyperemesis gravidarum, right? You're even sicker during pregnancy. It's like a double whammy, which happened to me. Now, some CVSers actually get a remission during pregnancy. I've only met a few people, like one Colleen Rice from CVS Speaks. She told me she actually had a break during her pregnancy, which was a shock to me. She was the first person that I ever had talked to and met that actually had a break from CVS, because most of the time you're even sicker. Second is after you have HG, then you get CVS in the aftermath. Third is your baby, your child gets CVS, which is hard. It's so hard. And these are so common. And in the community of the HG-CVS community and how we're connected, so many moms get hyperemesis during pregnancy, but they're just told it's their CVS, they need to suck it up. The thing I don't get is you're not pregnant, you can go and you're dehydrated, you can get fluids. You're pregnant, they just expect you to suck it up and they don't want to give it to you. But yet the person down the hall that's not pregnant, not feeling too well, will get the better treatment. It's wrong on every level, but it happens every day. So everybody has different triggers with their CVS, and your CVS can wax and wane just like hyperemesis can, and not having that validation is hard. Now, I used to end up in the hospital every month because of my CVS prior to having a line. Why are we profiled as drug seekers is a question I get often. We're not taken seriously about our symptoms. For myself and countless others with CVS, we get extreme stomach pain in the upper part of our stomach that can leave you curled up in the ball on the floor in pain. Because the need for pain medication during CVS is why we get labeled as drug seekers. And you get flagged. They'll flag you at the hospital and call you a frequent flyer and know you're just there for drugs, even though you're legitly sick and you need help and you need to control that pain and you fluids and hydration and meds. You still get labeled a drug seeker in your chart by being called a frequent flyer. And once you're labeled like that, you can't get good care. It doesn't matter. No one's going to help you. And then you have to find a new doctor, a new hospital. You know, I've had GIs fire me, like my current GI fired me because he didn't want to deal with me because I advocated for myself and told him how things were going to be and how to do it. He didn't like me telling him how to do his job. But you have to advocate for yourself. You are your best advocate. Nobody else can do it for you but you. You have to remember that, to be your own advocate. Is it scary to challenge authority? Abso-freaking-lutely. Is it going to get your adrenaline and your heart racing? Yes. But you have to do it. You have to advocate for yourself. I cannot stress this enough. Otherwise, they're going to kill you. They have a free license to kill you and get away with it. We'll flag you as a frequent flyer. I've done it. I've seen it. It's happened to me. But I just want to explain what happened to me, this girl that I held. So I was walking to the restroom and I could hear these doctors yelling at this mom, crying in room 11. And after having her baby, she was puking and relching. And with CVS, you're loud. Your vomiting is so loud, and the relching and the pain, you cannot control how loud you are, no matter what. It's just that debilitating. Hear her. And I walked in and said, sweetie, I believe you. Here's my business card for my organization. I want you to reach out to me so I can help you when you're out of here. The nurses were telling her that they were going to put her on a 5150. A 5150 is an involuntary psychiatric hold. They thought she was crazy. They thought it was all in her head because that's what she was being told. These doctors don't know. They're not taught this in medical school. And this is why it's so important from the patient's perspective of having to advocate for yourself and educate our doctors. I mean, that gap needs to be bridged with doctors and patients, and it's not. And this is why there's so much conflict. Will you get arrogant doctors that are jerks and not listen? Absolutely. Find another doctor. Trust me. CVSers will experience symptom-free periods lasting for a few days, weeks, or even months, depending on the CVS sufferer. We all suffer differently. Just like our meds that help us for CVS, everybody's different. Just like our DNA, like our fingerprints, nobody's the same. So you have to remember that. Everybody is different. This is how I base things and how I wrote my blog years ago to explain it the best way possible to help people understand it, because there's different spectrums of CVS and everybody suffers it differently. But doctors only see it one way, and usually they just assume you're a drug addict and drug seeking. And this is why it's so hard to get care. You can be in a constant cycle with CVS that just won't relent up. You may have some periods of a break of it not being so bad, but then you're hit with it again. This is because of mitochondrial dysfunction. Your mitochondrials are cells in your body that convert food to energy. You need this in order to survive. This is how HG comes in the factor of Hyperemesis Gravidarum and CVS. And in the community of the HG CVS community and how we're connected, so many moms get hyperemesis during pregnancy, but they're just told it's their CVS, they need to suck it up. Next Friday, I will have part 3 to my video on Cyclic Vomiting Syndrome, CVS, and HG, Hyperemesis Gravidarum, and explain a bit more of how they're related to each other. If you have any questions, please drop it down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Ta-ta for now. Bye. Make sure to follow me on my verified Facebook page. Look for check mark. You can also follow my pages as well, and I'll see you in the next video. You can also find me on YouTube and TikTok.